Dan Campbell has the great equalizer. And it is exactly what she said. The fact that he could, if it's fourth and he could be 4th and 5 like it was against the Chargers. And he's going to trot that offense out there. And you're going to start second-guessing things. And you're losing focus on what you need to be focused on. On top of the fact he's also a fucking 6'5", no neck having behemoth of a dip chewing son of a gun. But yeah.
Well, I think everybody kind of gets lost in the analytics of what the conversion rate is and whether it makes sense with the odds at that point to go for based on where you are on the field.
Yeah.
And they overlook the psychological factor of that. I hate it when we hold a team on 3rd down and 1 and they're supposed to punt and they don't.
Yes.
I hate that.
I agree.
I really hate that.
I get pissed off.
And when you think about that, you think about doing that to a defense over and over again, 3, 4, 5 times a game, and making them wonder what you're going to do every single time you come out and punt the ball. It does wear on you. It's got to wear on the defensive coordinator's sleep the night before. It's got to, like you said, take away from what you're supposed to be focused on because you're worried about what we might be doing instead of worried about what you're supposed to be doing to stop it.
Yes.
And so, he's really influenced the league. The couple of years that he's been doing this now, the rest of the NFL is doing it now. And it's one thing to kind of put yourself in a position where you don't have that field goal like we did in the Dallas game, but it's what's worked for us this year. It's what's put defenses on their heels, and ultimately he has taken the confidence away from the defense on 4th down after a 3rd down stop, and he's taken that confidence and he's given it right to his team. I'm going to let you guys make the play. You guys get down here. I'm going to let you put it in on 4th down. And I'm going to leave it into your hands. And we've never seen that kind of trust in Detroit. And it's bred this team that's just a bunch of savage animals, man.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what down it is.
I think it's bred the confidence in these guys too, because like you said, this is such a young bunch.
Yes.
And for Dan Campbell to aspire the confidence in them for whether it's go for it on 4th down, that's both confidence and defense. Okay, I think you guys can stop them in this situation. At least I'm relying on you guys to stop them in this situation. The ball's in your court to handle that. Or same thing for the offense too. Hey, I got confidence in you guys to get that thing done. And when you're dealing with a team that's as young as it is, that aspires to have greater things in a league that they're kind of new in, they're figuring things out in. You aspire that type of confidence in them. Okay, I am good enough to do this. I am good enough to be here and execute that. And then to Burns' comment in the Woodward Sports Chat, shout to him. He says it forces more conservative coaches to also lose their comfort zone and play more aggressive to match that. And I like that aspect of it too.
Yes.
Dan Campbell is a mastermind manipulator. Same way you ever hear him in the post conference or press conference, I should say. He's mentioned before this is I think before our first home game. He's I expect him to break the record. Or he's already put in your head,
yes.
You got to break this fucking record. He's not saying, I hope they do or anything like that. He's, no, I expect him to. He put that expectation in your lap. So it's up to you to fulfill it at that point. It's oh, fuck. You know what I'm saying? The accountability is on you at that point.
Yeah.
And he's just done that. I think in the offseason, I didn't know how I felt about it at firsthand, but he had mentioned J-Mo may not ever be one of those receivers with great hands. And I was like, yo, this kid has barely seen the field yet. He's trying to build his confidence up. Why are we doing this to him? No, accountability's in your lap. Prove him wrong.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? And I like that about
manipulator.
Dan Campbell. Yes, master manipulator. And I think people see the no neck dip and all that good stuff. They lose sight of that. Yeah. And I think he likes playing into that. It's the same thing with Pat McAfee talked about watching the wave when they're doing that the pass to Penei Sewell. He's like, I didn't know they were going to do it. He plays stupid.
Well, one of your points that you brought up is that you're doing this, you're adding this confidence into a team of young guys.
Yes.
And something we talked about at the post-game show, the Lions return 31 players next year, okay? 25 of those guys we drafted. 5 of those guys we signed, and one of them is Jared Goff.
Yeah.
So now you're talking about jettisoning guys that have seen failure, that have had their confidence rocked, and you've replaced them with a group of guys that now they're blank slates.
Yeah.
They came in from mostly winning programs because you usually win in college if you're good, you know. And now they're here and they're not learning bad things. They're not getting bad habits. They, from the day they get here, ground up, are being built up the right way, and they're being told, hey, we trust you. We're going to put the ball and the game in your hands. We're not going to worry about the refs. We're not going to worry about who's at home or who's away. We are just going to come and bite your kneecaps off. And so now these young guys have adopted this. I mean, look how young our team is. These guys have this kind of confidence, and now at least 3 games of playoff experience. The league is on notice, man. They should be terrified.
Hey, and speaking of like inspiring confidence, somebody wants the name to be said. I'm going to say it. Jared Goff. A guy who came here with broken confidence. Who else to help nurse you back to like being like him, being that guy, than Dan fucking Campbell?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, Dan Campbell, like a guy, you have Sean McVay, who never let you call your own protections, who never really let you call your own play, had no input in the offense, versus like what's going on here, input on the offense. Dan Campbell is putting you out there on 4th down and putting the ball in your hands to make that damn decision because he knows you can do it. I remember back in 2021, it was like a call out, but again, it's a coaching call out, a little bit different, right? It's like he just wants you to grow better, and he said that as Jared Goff's gonna have to step up. Jared Goff's gonna have to do better. Yep. And as we fucking seen results of turn, we got a 12-4 team, should be 13-3.
That's right.
In the NFC Conference Championship game, KG.
Yeah. And to your point, that a lot of people thought that this would die down. To me, it's one of his biggest strengths, and it's become his signature at this point. During that 2021 season, you know, it started off with some of the fake punts in our own territory.
And we had to do those things.
Yeah, but a lot of people said that. A lot of people said, hey, you know, once we get more talent and things of that nature, he'll stop. Second year, he cost us some games with some of his aggressiveness, and a lot of people was like, okay, well, you know, what's going on here? He's making mistakes. He's going to have to eventually stop this. He hasn't. You get to this year, and it looks like he's almost crafted this down to a science, man. And it's to the point where even if we go for it and miss it, it doesn't seem to hurt our team very much. But look at his success rate. Look at his conversion rate. It's very, very high. I think maybe the highest out of any other coach. And I know it takes more chances than other coaches, but I think that just speaks to him improving as a coach, knowing the feel for the moment, you know. And like you said, giving his offense confidence, and to me, it speaks a lot to keeping your best unit on the field. I know a lot of people say that he does this because he doesn't trust his defense, but I also think that
you trust your defense to do that, though.
Right. You know? Your offense is so good, you got to keep your best unit out on the field. And if you have a chance to close out a game with your best unit on the field, you do that. And in this case, it just happens to be Jared Goff connecting on short connections with Amon-Ra, St. Brown, Laporta, things of that nature. So,
and you know,
to your point, second best conversion rate too at 4th down. Detroit Lions.
Yeah. Well, and you think about guys getting the opportunity to do this for the first time. It's got to put them on their heels as offensive players a little bit as well.
Yeah.
This is a new scenario for us a few years ago. And then it was like, okay, I guess we're doing this. Now this year, they're committed to it.
Yes.
And they start out every single possession knowing Dan's going to have our back. And so the first year it was a disaster. Second year kind of, you know, it cost us. This year it's what's gotten us here.
Yeah.
You know, and when you as a player going in on 3rd down knowing that you have 4 downs, just changes the way you play.
It does.
It does. And just point to one more thing that KG said, because there's actually money, is like, you want to win the game, you want your best unit out there on the field. And that is the offense for the Detroit Lions.